Alright people, so I'm here with part 4 of my Q&A, and this has become very popular. I have now, let's see, 66 questions there for the Q&A, and I'm on numbers 31 through 40 right now. Not 31 through 40, I'm on, 31 through 40, I believe. No, I'm on 40, my bad, 40 through, I'm going to do 40 through 50 today, or what, I don't know. I'm going to do 10 questions today, alright? That's the fucking point. Since I am on part 4, I'm going to start off with number 40, but, yeah, I mean, if you would like to ask a new question, you know, comment it on this video or any other one of my videos, and make sure to specify this is for the Q&A, so I know it is for the Q&A. Or you could ask me on Twitter at WWE Heel Punk or at Ruthless Ranter. But anyway, let's get this started here. Number 40. What are your thoughts on the Whole Foods grocery store? My thoughts on it are, I have never been there before, and I do think they have some good products there. But like, my mom goes there sometimes, and I look at some of the shit she brings back from it, and it's not really natural food. It's not really, you know. So I think that in a way they are somewhat natural. They have some decent foods there, but I don't see them being 100% good, and they're definitely, I think, better than you know, your average grocery store out there. But I mean, you just have to be cautious of when people try to brand things. Oh, this is healthy. This is non-GMO, or not so much this is non-GMO, but like saying, oh, this is diet, or this is fat-free or healthy, or because a lot of times it's just a lie, and it just isn't. Or maybe it's like slightly healthier, but it still has a bunch of shit in it, you know. So you always gotta look out for that. And I don't think Whole Foods is 100% truly a good, healthy, you know, place to go. And you just can't go into Whole Foods and say, oh, this is from Whole Foods, this is healthy. You know, I think that Whole Foods is not the 100% answer. 41. Do you live by yourself? No, I live with my family. You know, I'm not. I do not live by myself. So yeah, I mean, that's the answer to that question. I mean, I'm not old enough really to live by myself yet. You know, in college. So I mean, I'm not living by myself. Gonna fucking, you know, I commute to college, by the way, too. So so I do live with my parents at home. Would you try out Clash of Clans on iPad? I did play that game before. You know, like every game you play on an iPad or even a video game, you eventually get tired of it, and that's what I played Clash of Clans for a good amount of time, and I just got tired of it, you know, and I stopped playing it. So, you know, is it addicting? You could say it's addicting. I mean, you could say all games are addicting. It just depends on if you like it or not. I wouldn't say it's addicting because I'm not playing it to this day, but I mean, it was definitely a, you know, fun, cool game and shit like that. So I did play the game, and you know, pretty good game. What would be your wish list for the future of WWE? My wish list would be to promote actually good wrestlers that people like. You know, the ones like Bryan, and not so much Bryan because I guess he's hurt, but I mean like the Zigglers, you know, the Nevilles, and just, you know, Kevin Owens, and just people that, you know, people like, you know. I'm not talking about fucking kids, because I've gone over this before. Wrestling is not for kids, alright? And it obviously is not working well, the product for kids, because, I mean, the ratings are low as shit. The network, when it first launched, was a pretty big failure. I mean, the company should not be geared towards kids. This is not, wrestling is not for kids. And when it was at its most extreme, when it was at the TV 14 levels, that's when it was doing the best. That's when it was, even with competition, it was still getting ratings of like 4, 5s, and 6s and 7s. I mean, so now it's like below 3. It's at the lowest it's like ever been. You know, so, you know, and there's not many shows you see, you know, change the demographic that they're trying to get to watch the show. I mean, I've made analogies like this before. You won't see SpongeBob just, you know, turn over to TV 14, you know, in the blink of an eye. No, you won't, because a show like SpongeBob should be towards kids. A show like wrestling should be towards, you know, not 9-year-olds, you know, probably like 12 and 13-year-olds and up, you know. So, and what else would I like? You know, I've really I want like legitimate storylines, and in the way that I want to see more of a build to these feuds too, because the builds to their fucking shit have fucking sucked. I mean, they really have. They don't put any fucking build into the shit. It's stupid, and I would just like to see more face to face promos. Just let people do what they want more. Like Triple H was talking about how he lets people do what they want more in NXT. Don't let the creative team control everything, and so that's kind of some of my things that I wish my wish list for WWE in the future. Describe a gimmick that has never been done before that you think can make the next star in WWE. Well, I mean, pretty much every fucking gimmick has, been fucking done before. I mean, so it's kind of hard to come up with a legitimate, like heel gimmick to fucking use. And I mean, if you look at a guy like The Rock or I mean Stone Cold, do you really have like a gimmick that could describe? I mean, Stone Cold, you could say, oh, he was, um, a beer drinker or a bad. I mean, but he really didn't. You can't really come up with a name to describe many of these people's gimmicks. I mean, like The Rock. I mean, what was The Rock? I mean, what word would you use to describe? He was just a good guy, or just an entertaining guy. I mean, a lot of people like there's like Seth Rollins. He doesn't really have a gimmick. CM Punk when he was a heel, was he really? Did he really have a gimmick? No, I mean, so I think like the best heels. I think you could have a good heel without having a gimmick. I don't really know what kind of gimmick you could use, but I mean, like I see a good heel like could just be a really dick. Could just be a dick. Can just act, really evil and shit like that, and cut good promos. I mean, you don't really have to have a specific gimmick. Like, and again, there hasn't. You can't. It's hard to come up with a fucking new gimmick. That's not really similar to other shit that WWE's done before. So, I mean, I don't really fucking know, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it really comes to, it's not really the gimmick. I don't think that's a big factor in getting, I mean, it is, but I mean, I think a bigger factor in somebody getting over is the wrestling ability and their own talent. So I don't think, the gimmick is gonna fucking, make it can make or break, but I think a bigger make or break factor is the actual wrestler's talent. Why are you next one? Why are you not a fan of Randy Orton? I'm not a fan of Orton because I've explained this so many times. He's a boring fucking wrestler. All he does is basic fucking moves in there. Doesn't do any high impact, high action moves for the most part. He's just fucking boring. He's slow as shit. And his promo ability, I mean, it's better than his wrestling ability, but it's not like anything that's been too great as of late. Your top 5 favorite wrestlers from the past and present. I mean, that's a fucking tough one. Because I didn't watch in the past, so it's kind of hard for me to come out and say, oh, these are my top 5 favorite from the past. I'll do the top 5 favorite from the present. I mean, probably Daniel Bryan. I like Dolph Ziggler. There's 2, right? Who else? I'm trying to think of who else I really like right now. I mean, I like Cesaro. I like Rollins. So there's 4. I need one fucking more here. And Lesnar. I'll go with Lesnar because I do like Lesnar. So there's your 5, I guess. Again, top 5 from the past. I haven't really watched in the past, so I mean it's kind of hard for me to say, oh, here's my top 5 from the past. I mean, it's cool to see Stone Cold, The Rock. You could say CM Punk because he's from the past now, right? Who else is there that I don't. There's 3. There you go. How about that? There's 3 for you. Is your solution to save this country's economy more Democratic or Republican? I'm not a big fan of Democrats or Republicans, but I would say it is more Republican because Republicans tend to be more laissez-faire. I would say it's more libertarian, if any. Libertarian's a word that I would use to describe it because I'm laissez-faire, meaning I want the government's hands off of the economy. I don't want the government involved in the economy. I want people to be able to do whatever the hell they want. I want a free market. I want real capitalism. I want people to be able to make decisions for themselves. I want few government regulations on shit. I want people to be able to, pay workers whatever they want, put their prices at whatever they want, fire workers whenever and for whatever reasons they want, hire for whatever reasons they want, reject people's, from coming to their business for whatever reasons they want. I'm libertarian and I'm laissez-faire on that. 48. If you could book WWE for this Sunday's Payback all the way to WrestleMania, how would you and what superstars would be involved in feuds? I would say, especially like younger guys or newer guys like Neville, I would definitely build up on the card. I would definitely, do the Seth Rollins Brock Lesnar thing, probably at SummerSlam. Probably get Dolph Ziggler more involved in feuds. I'm a big fan of doing the Brock Lesnar Bray Wyatt feud. I think that would be an interesting feud. Kevin Owens, I would definitely push. Bryan, if healthy, I would push. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of new feuds you could do. With new people. Especially the newer guys like Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn. You got guys down there in NXT. Those people have never feuded with anybody before, so you could do some new fucking feuds. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely some potential there and some potential for new fucking feuds. And I would also keep pushing Seth Rollins as well. Probably Bray Wyatt a little bit more maybe. So 49. What are 5 ways you think you can make Damien Sandow be relevant and worthy of the world title? Well, I don't even know if he would be worthy of a world title. But I mean, here's one way. After the fucking, thing he did with Miz, I would fucking actually push him and do something legitimate. I wouldn't make him into this fucking Hulk Hogan ripoff or Macho Man ripoff. I would have him cut promos more, being the intellectual savior of the masses. I would give him more like TV time and shit like that. And I would also do more shit like like special segments too, like where he could just be enlightening people like outside of WWE. I think that they have the potential to do good shit. Like if they do some special segment at a different location, those are usually good. So I would do that shit. So there you go. That's how I would kind of, I would turn Damien Sandow back into the intellectual savior of the masses, because, I don't know, it's just, what else is he gonna do, So, and number 50, how old are you? I am 17. I've said that a few times on this channel. So, there you go, people. There is part 4 of my Q&A.